Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I have with me Jen from Biote. She is our amazing rep. She's been right alongside as we've been onboarding this new procedure. So for those that don't know, tell us a little about Biote.
I sure will. So Biote has been around for about 14 years now, and we were founded by a board-certified OB-GYN. And our main purpose is training and education and giving, options for patients in the world of hormone optimization.
And I will say, guys, if you are watching and you're a provider and you're thinking about getting into pellets, I would definitely reach out to Biote. They do things right, and I will definitely stand behind them and say the training, Jen showing up whenever we need help with some type of, service or some type of, hey, Jen, what do we do here? We forget how to, document the pellets, all the things. She's here for us. So if you're looking, you're welcome. You deserve it. So if you're looking for a pellet company to get started with, I highly recommend Biote.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's been great. And it's been a lot of fun. And we are certified now. Melissa and I are both certified. I know Nan's going to get certified as well. It's been exciting, and just the education and diving deeper into hormones has been really good. So I've actually changed my thinking on several different things. So reach out if you have questions, you want to talk about any of that. But we're making sure we do things the right way so everybody feels well.
Good.
So hormone therapy. So the pellets, people always think like, how much is this going to hurt? How big is that? Don't watch a YouTube, guys. It looks scary that it is. You don't need to see that. So we can walk you through and show you exactly what's going to be done. So they're small, they're rice-sized pellets. They say rice size. It's a little bigger to me than rice.
A little bit.
Maybe like a basmati rice, a little bit bigger, but not much. You're not going to feel that pellet in place once it's there. Men, you get a little bit more. You're going to be able to feel a little bit something there for short term. But usually we're primarily using kind of the upper buttocks area is what we're doing for the pellets. You can put them in your flank as well. So if you have a preference, we're open to that too. It's a constant, steady release of hormones, and they're bioidentical hormones, meaning like your body makes.
Exactly.
So usually lasting anywhere, for women from 3 to 4 months, maybe a little bit longer, depends on how you metabolize your pellets. And then also for men, you're looking at more like 6 to 7 months for the pellets for them. So
who needs these pellets?
Well, that's a great question. There are some people who can be younger, but that's a little bit more rare, but people do have some things that can happen. Usually your perimenopausal, menopausal women are one of our biggest population that's going to need them, men. So by the time you turn 40, you lose about 50% of your testosterone, and people feel it. And we deserve to feel good and not suffer with all of those symptoms.
We do.
Hormone imbalance calls from several different things. If we're overweight, that can contribute. If we're not sleeping, if we're really stressed out, our thyroid's not in balance, and then just aging.
True. What about symptoms for men? What do you see for them?
So symptoms for men lots of times are brain fog. I'm just not thinking as sharp as I used to. I can't lift like I used to. I don't feel like my exercise tolerance is very good. One of the greatest things, so we were at Biote, we were training in Texas, and there was a guy, and I said, okay, tell me. Every person that came in, I'm like, tell me, what's the difference for you? What are you feeling? And this guy said, well, before I started pellets, I could not run across the parking lot, and now I can run a mini marathon.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
My husband has gotten pellets done, and he notices that he feels just like a little bit lighter, clearer, doesn't get the afternoon kind of slump that you may get and reach for coffee instead. He hasn't needed to do that, which has been game changing for him. Men will say an increase in their libido and their functioning, lean muscle. What am I missing? Energy.
Mood. Each person's going to be different of how they're going to feel, and if this will work for them.
Yes.
But I will say for my husband, he's been on pellets now for 4 years.
Wow.
When he started, he needed to lose about 30 pounds.
Okay.
So it really wasn't for weight loss, but there was weight gain because his testosterone was so low, and therefore his mobility and his desire to move wasn't there as much. Yep. So once we got that optimized, once we got hormone or his thyroid optimized too, and he started taking some really good nutraceuticals, over about 18 months, he saw a major difference in the whole, body composition. But for him, he needs to have a knee replacement surgery. He's an athlete. He's a lacrosse official. He runs in these tournaments. Like this weekend, he did 16 miles
Wow.
on a knee that needs to be completely replaced, that he wasn't able to run 5 years ago on it.
That's
So
pretty cool.
was it the therapy? We don't know, but he has the energy, the go get him, and his joints are able to do that, along with everything else that he's been doing, which has all been very natural, different supplements and peptides and things like that. So
Absolutely.
it's created more of a natural approach for the way he looks at his health now than it did maybe 5 years ago.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I will say that's the cool thing about Biote is they have this very intelligent computer program, very sophisticated, and it doesn't just look at hormones. And it's very good about saying this patient isn't a candidate for hormones. Exactly. Now it's always up to the provider. We have the ability to say yes or no. You're, actually, somebody can have pellets, but it's something that they will look at your thyroid and maybe even give recommendations on thyroid dosing. Maybe we weren't being as aggressive on your thyroid. It does talk about nutraceuticals too, which is great. And we can talk about those in another podcast.
Yeah. So
right, there is so much. What we're hearing so far since we started Pellets is we're hearing my hip pain is much better or gone.
His too. Yep.
Energy is better. I'm sleeping better. I'm actually dreaming. I'm hearing people with increased energy. Kind of for me, it's like just that lighter kind of feeling. Definitely working out for everybody is better. Another, female said it's kind of changed her marriage. It's like when they first, used to get married, their relationship is so much better. So those things are all pretty cool. But we also want to highlight the long-term effects of cardiovascular benefits, bone health, things like that too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what are pellets made of?
So pellets are made from plants. Made from yams.
Yep.
So very, very safe. Any kind of hormone therapy comes with risk. We will walk you through risk versus benefits for you. But we feel this is a very safe procedure.
Very good.
So,
and, the one thing that a lot of people will say is, okay, so when am I going to feel the effect? How quickly? And will this person feel the same as her next door neighbor?
No. So it's going to be different. There's not just one dose somebody gets, milligrams of testosterone or estradiol. It is going to be different for everybody. And it may take you 2 to 3 times for us to actually optimize your hormones, because we want to be conservative. We don't want to give you too much, because once they're in, they're in. And for everybody, it's different. So I would say I've had somebody as early as a week. I'm not sure if that was more just of them thinking, oh, maybe I should feel better, placebo effect. But usually within that first month, people are going to feel better. Okay. If they're not showing some improvements in their symptoms, then we are rechecking labs and saying, do we need to give another dose? Because we do want to make you feel good as fast as we possibly can. If you're feeling great, everything's awesome at 1 month, we're going to let it ride, and then we'll bring you back in to check your labs 2 weeks prior to your next pellet. But yeah, most people within that first month are going to start feeling difference. It may not be where you're going to be at 100%. Maybe at 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you're still going to feel a little bit better. Good.
Okay. Well, it was life-changing for me.
Yeah. Tell us your story.
Oh, it's such a long story. So I'm really, really not. But truly, I was menopausal and told that by my provider that there was absolutely nothing that we could do about it. We're not even going to check your levels, but we need to put you on a blood pressure medicine. And now we need to put you on a statin. And since you can't sleep, we'll give you this. And since you're a bit anxious, we'll give you this. And that's pretty much how it progressed for about 8 years. Right? Yeah. And weight gain started, and I wasn't doing anything different. I was still doing the same walking, same routine. Wasn't eating more, wasn't drinking more, but the pounds and the proportion just was not fun. Yeah. And unbeknownst to me, I really didn't think my moods were bad, but they were. And so I went to, it's much better now, thank goodness. But I had gone to a practice for a patient seminar to learn about pellet therapy. All they talked about, though, was libido. Okay. And when you have all these other symptoms of anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, statins, you don't feel great, brain fog, the last thing you think about and you want to spend money on is libido. Exactly. But they talk to me about, this is great for my heart or for my bone or for my brain or for breast protection, and why I needed hormones as they were depleted and the health benefits. I probably would have started this 7 years ago.
Yes.
But instead, I started 4 years ago. For me,
Mm-hmm.
again, like you said, this is all individual.
Yes.
For me, it was life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally life-changing. I could think again.
Mm-hmm.
And very even-keeled. And I never needed a nap in the middle
Mm-hmm.
of the day.
Yeah.
I had energy. And
are you off some of those scripts too?
Off blood pressure. My blood pressure, and I'll tell everybody, my blood pressure was 190/92.
Wow.
Yeah, really high.
Yeah.
Off of blood pressure completely for
Mm-hmm.
4 years. I'm at 111/82, basically.
I love that.
So is
Those are
it
the
because
big
of that?
wins.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, sure, like seems like it.
for me, I'm in a hope, yes, but I'm
It
just
didn't
saying,
hurt.
it definitely, this was a big change I made,
Mm-hmm.
and this helps. So no, I'm not on any of those
Yeah.
particular drugs that I was on then. So
yeah, and we love that,
and
guys.
I sleep.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Well, that's a gift, right?
Yeah.
When you're sleeping.
Absolutely.
It helps everything else.
That's my story. It worked for me, but everybody's going to have their own individual
Mm-hmm.
medical history, their needs, whatever. And that's the beauty of your practice too, because you really dive into the whole person's health.
Yes, absolutely.
And
so optimizing those things. We talk about the 4 pillars, cortisol, that's your stressors, that's your adrenal glands. You talk about thyroid. We've got our hormones and insulin and glucose, and you will feel well when we can get all that in balance. Now that's, one step. There's other patients that need more, but, starting there for most patients will help. We had somebody in their 70s say to us, no one had offered them pellets. They want to do pellets before. They actually found someone to do it before we started offering it. And they, again, for them, life-changing.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your 70s, you still deserve to feel well.
Absolutely.
And there's so many protective effects during that time. And you think of, risk versus benefits. By God, you want to live those next 20 years or more, hopefully more, and feeling your best and not suffering with these symptoms. And these perimenopausal women like me, menopausal, you deserve to feel good, right?
Yeah.
Your family deserves for you to feel good. And I think that's one of the biggest things too.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's see if there's anything else.
How old is too old for this therapy?
There's not an age.
Good.
There's not an age, as long as there's not any other kind of risks associated for them. Yep. Even people who have had different types of cancers, we can work with your oncologist and see if you're a candidate, if you're far enough out. People with prostate, issues, we work with a urologist. We have great consults that we can refer you to who are on board with pellets, and they're willing to work with us and see, are you a candidate or are you not, if we need those specialists too. Estrogen in the pellets was one of the questions that we had here. So it's estradiol. So it's a very safe form of estrogen. I get this question a lot. Okay, you can put my progesterone in the pellets? And then I say to them, no, we can't put your estrogen in the pellets. We want you taking that orally, especially if you have an intact uterus. So that is one thing you would need to continue at nighttime. But that one's pretty easy. And people love the calming effect of it. They don't tend to miss it very much.
Yeah, puts you to sleep.
If you are interested in starting with pellets, what we want you to do is call our office, or you can email, or you can text. We have that new text feature, which everyone loves, who likes to be on the phone these days. You'll get your pre-pellet labs, and you're going to fill out some information as well. And then we're going to do your consult. When you come in, you'll be with a provider for your consult. If we say, yes, you are a good candidate, then we're going to go ahead and pellet you that day. You'll know pricing from that first visit. You'll have all of that just by talking to us on the phone. But from now, we're just releasing this with Jen. And so from now until the end of August, anyone who refers 5 of your friends who sign up for pellets will receive your next procedure free. So this is big, guys. Think about that huge savings. And right now we are waiving the consult fees. Our executive members are going to, at this point, continue to have their consult fees waived. So it's a good thinking to think about being an executive member, because you're going to save money. So we're really excited for that. So reach out if you have any questions. And then labs, you can either bill them to your insurance if you are a patient. If you're not a patient, we have a really low cost that Biote has helped us negotiate, cash pay pricing. So even if you don't have insurance, this is still okay. It can work for you. So reach out with questions or concerns. And Jen, I want to thank you for coming.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is great. And thanks for doing what you do. It's important.
Thank you. It is.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see ya.